Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning on this kind of a cool, crisp fall morning here in Northern Virginia? I am Nancy coming to you live from my home office. It's another Postscript Saturday, a PS to our real estate week, where I share a little behind the scenes at Love to List, and then I provide some information and education on why I feel it's important working with a professional realtor when you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing. So today I'm going to be continuing the conversation from last week's episode, where I talked about the three P's of selling and the three P's to have a very positive real estate experience when selling your home. Excuse me. I've been struggling the last few weeks with my voice and a cough, and I'm fine, but I don't know if it's the allergies or what have you. But excuse me, let me take a sip of my coffee. Anyways, the three P's. I will review with you what the three P's are and what we went over with last episode, and then get into today's episode. I have a lot to share with you. But before we do that, we just had a really successful launch to a house last weekend that we listed in Reston, the cutest little townhouse. It was in pristine condition. The seller did everything right to get this house ready and prepared for market. She had lived in her home for 36 years. Can you imagine, parting with a place that you've nested for 36 years? There's a lot of there's a lot of emotions that comes with that, with downsizing. And I'm so excited for her because she is actually going to be doing something interesting. She's going to be kind of footloose and fancy free. She decided she didn't want to be tied to a yard anymore, and she wants the flexibility. So she's going to be renting in the area, and then she wants to do a lot of traveling. And then over the next few years, if she decides to move closer to family, she can. So she really is prepared for her lifestyle going forward of what she really wanted. And we seem to be helping a lot of people downsizing. I'm sure because as a 35-year realtor, my clientele is getting older, right? So a lot of us are downsizing. I'm thinking about selling here in the next year or two, and it's a lot to go into, right? It's a big deal. So anyways, really super excited for that seller. So let's get into today's topic. I'm going to flip this around. Okay, so last week we talked about the three P's: price, presentation, and promotion. And you need to have all three P's in order for a positive real estate experience. So last week we talked about my pricing formula, and I shared with you these four quadrants and how important they each are. These two set expectations, these start a price conversation. And I also talked with you about that I am what we call in the industry a two-step lister. And what that means is that I come and preview your home first, especially if you're new to me. You were referred to me. If I've been to your home, I don't need to come and see it first. But I find that is really critical, because what I am doing on the second appointment is I'm actually providing you a pricing strategy and a presentation plan. And I feel very passionate about educating and informing, right? Now, there are some scenarios where I just go in and we just do it because I've worked with the people so many times that they trust me, and it's more of like, Nancy, just take care of it, we trust you type of thing. But for a lot of people, people aren't selling their homes every 3 years or 5 years. They are selling their homes on average now. I believe it's up to 13 to 15 years. It might be even scooching a little higher. So people aren't selling very often, and often they need help with pricing, of course, but a presentation plan. And so our staging plan usually are in two sections. We have the home improvement section, and then we have the fluff and stuff section. And actually, the biggest thing about presentation is this word right here: prepare. This is so important. We want to get the home prepared for market. You've heard me say this before. For you, it's a home, right? It's your home that you've lived in. For me, you're hiring me to bring this product, your home, to market. And we need to properly prepare it for sale. And so in that staging plan, as I mentioned, there's two sections. There's the home improvement and the fluff, right? So the fluff and stuff kind of happens on the day of staging, before we take the photographs. The home improvement section is, we have a ton of resources. We have a whole team. Matter of fact, when you list with us, we provide you with that team, our go-to people, our painter, our carpet, our window cleaner, our home cleaning, so that you have all these people's contacts right at your fingertips. You know who's coming, what their phone numbers are, all the details about the resources, like our team that we have to get your house prepared for market. Now, I looked up the definition for prepared, and the definition is made ready or fit suitable. Well, it's so funny, it made me laugh actually, because my husband's from Pennsylvania, and his whole family says ready up the house. I've never heard that saying before I met him, ready up the house, ready up the house. So prepared is made ready or fit or suitable. So, again, we are looking at your house like a product, okay? So we want to get it as prepared as possible. And I'll scooch over here. Oh, hey Russ, how you doing? Hey Deb, hey Roma. Let's see, I'm gonna bring you back here. Good morning. So, part of that preparing, of course, are things like, what house color we need to paint if we need to paint, right? And, we follow what is in trend, what's coming down the pike. So there's so much that goes into, the home improvement section and then the fluff and stuff section. And there's a couple different approaches. And it's really interesting because one of the things we do after we list a home for sale is we do a kickoff meeting. The kickoff meeting is getting to know you and getting to know your home. And we do it online with my personal assistant because, like any successful experience, take sports for instance, you need to have daily practice. You need to have your setup. You need to be prepared for the game, right? And you also have to have the right team players where you can, throw that ball. If you're in basketball, throw it over here so that person can do the assist. I don't know anything about basketball, but you know what I mean. You rely on your team members. You get the support that you need. And when we do our kickoff meeting with Michelle, that is setting us up for success. We try to get everything that we possibly can in advance so we can get the paperwork done properly. We have a launch, what we call a launch plan. We call it list to launch. So there's so much that happens from the time we list your home, which means we sign an agreement, to the time that you go live. Sometimes it's a month. Sometimes it's 2 weeks. Well, I've had a house ready in a week. It's no problem we can do whatever, but the more time we have to be well prepared, the better usually. So sometimes I'm working with a seller for 6 months. So again, one of the reasons why I love the two-step listing appointment is that when I come and take a preview of your home, and then I come back with that pricing strategy and a presentation plan so that we get your home ready for market. These are standards that I have run the business on and have been very successful. We don't have houses that sit on the market. We have homes that sell in a good time frame and for a good price. We don't really have a lot of price reductions at Love to List. Now, the market has been good, which I will say that, I'm involved in a lot of these private Facebook groups. And it's really interesting how some of the comments these days, people are like, oh, I see the houses are sitting a little bit longer. Oh, I think that, we may be seeing more price reductions, which we are. Well, I've seen agents say, well, I guess we have to do this, this, and this now. Well, that is something that I've been passionate about no matter what the market, whether it's good, bad, great, we always have a standard practice that is very successful. It's a process that's very successful, and we don't like to cut any corners, and we want to maximize that experience. So even in a good market, a great market, we're going to do all the right things for our seller that we know that are going to set them up for the best success. So, and it's really interesting too. The staging is there's a couple different ways to stage. If it's a vacant property, we bring in the furniture, okay? If it's a home where someone is living, I have one of the best stagers in all of Northern Virginia that helps me. And she is a master at really taking the essence of the current homeowner's home and preparing it for market in a way where we don't lose the essence of that. Because in my experience, like people buy like people's homes. And you want to really capitalize on the things that these homeowners, current homeowners, loved about their home. So oftentimes it's about streamlining, decluttering, freshening up paint, cleaning windows, positioning furniture in a way, how is the buyer going to walk through the home? That is really key, right? And when we talk about promotion next week, I'm going to talk to you a lot about the photos. But in the meantime, I have 3 examples that if you're interested, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you, let's see, I'll do it this way. On my computer, I'm going to put this down a little bit. Whoop, there we go. And let me just get it set up. I hope everyone is doing well. As I mentioned, it is a glorious morning here in Northern Virginia. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I think this is going to work. So I'm going to give you a few examples here, okay? All right. Now, one of the things that we are known for, and all 3 examples actually that I'm going to share with you are houses that were on the market before. Here, is that a little bit better? And then I was referred, and I'm not disking the other agent. I'm just sharing with you how a different perspective and our standards and our style can make a difference. So this house, these sellers are great, dear client of mine. This was how the house looked when the other agent had it on the market. And which is a point here that I want to share with you. Staging isn't just about the interior, it's also about the exterior. And I'm going to whisk through these here, but you can see this is kind of like a dark little entry. You can see what that looks like there. This was the living room here. Now, there's nothing wrong with necessarily, but you'll see how our process just brought a lot more life to this photos. And matter of fact, speaking of photos, which is part of our promotion, We use a professional photographer. See, this is so dark. Look, none of the lights are on in this kitchen. Could have had that light on, could have had the recessed lights on. So there's a lot of tips and tricks to the trade. We don't usually like to use up and down photos here. We usually like to go this way. I can never remember vertical or horizontal. Anyways, notice the brick fireplace. Again, you know, the bedding here just didn't really do very much lifting up. So you kind of get the picture here. And then when we go to when we took it over, that house was on the market for 60 days. And she actually decided to change her agreement and she called us. But you could see right away we got rid of those really big bushes and we put a few bushes here. Now that was not huge expense. We do try to be very resourceful in what we're recommending. And look at the difference of this hall just right away. It's so much brighter. The lights are on. Whoops. This is a cute little furniture with the mirror that you can see actually into the other room. And it's just so much brighter. This living room looks a lot better. We don't have that big hanging over lamp. You know, everything looks fresh and crisp and light and bright. So this is an opportunity where we worked with the homeowners thing. See, again, look how different this kitchen looks. And also the angle, the photographer we use is amazing. And I love the angles that they do. It's BTW. But you can see what a big difference. And that was a really pretty kitchen to highlight. And we painted the fireplace. So again, not big changes, not big expense, but just a little tweak here and here can make all the difference in the world. Like this is a nice expanded photo going upstairs, and look at the difference in the bedroom. So that is one example. I'm going to give you another example. Now, this was interesting. This is a vacant property that we took over from another agent. And both of these properties, we listed them for hire and got them sold a lot quicker. So this is in Arlington. Actually, we're getting another one coming down the pike here at the same building, Atrium. But this was the previous agent's, beginning photo in the entry here. Closet doors open, and she used what's called a virtual staging, which we do use sometimes, and we do have a need sometimes. But when we took it over, it was vacant, and I opted to fully stage it. So these aren't like really bad, but they're not as inviting as what we came up with. Again, that's a virtual staging, but the curtains are a little bit wonky there. What we are trying to do is stop the scroll. When people are scrolling on their phone, we're trying to stop that scroll and have them run to the property. So anyways, that was the other agent. And then when we took it over, here you go. That's our entry right there when you first come in. And it just looks, it's the same paint color, but we just accented everything. We put lights on, we did a dining plus a living area so people could really experience the space. I just think these came out really great. We love Metropolitan. They do a really nice job, but this is just real homey, a little bit of wine, just creating that emotion for the property. This was just a 1-bedroom condo. And again, part of our full service is we will stage for you. And again, we took those curtains, we moved them. So again, it's just a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So then the last one here that I'll show you is this one. This property was on the market for a year. And I don't know why, but they never showed the family room in this property when it was listed before. And you can see the colors in here, lots of different colors. And when we took it over, we didn't necessarily get rid of all the colors, but we made an impact on a couple of the rooms. Something also I wanted to have you notice, this is the office. And this has a beautiful bookcase, but you don't see it, right? So it's just paying attention to some of those extra added details that can really make a difference. So this was our opening photo. Here's another shot. I love that shot. Just a gorgeous home, right? So that's the entry. We show the kitchen, the family room, the living room, a little bit of the dining room. I love this picture. It kind of gives you a scope of when you walk into the house. We painted the dining room, neutralized that, made a huge difference in the overall, look when you first come in. We took up a lot of the rugs so we could expose the hardwood floors. And there's a really nice picture of the family room. These pictures used to be, these were in the sunroom. We moved them over here, create a nice little cozy, spot. And look at this kitchen. It was repainted, and it just is gorgeous. And see, they don't have an eat-in space here, so we added an actual dining table into the sunroom so people could see, that you could have a breakfast area here. Before they didn't have that. They had 2 chairs here that we moved to the family room. So really, and there's those nice bookcases. I just love that study. So, and before this couch was in front of this big window, which we kept the nice green in there, but instead of seeing the couch in this big window, we put it to the side, and it just made a huge impact when you first walked in. So I think if you can just, understand with those pictures is that it's that being prepared and getting it ready for market is what Love to List does really well. And when you're working with a realtor, you want to make sure, oh, hey, Sally, that realtor is going to, oh, hey, Mary, how you doing? Is going to pay attention to the details and make sure that your presentation online, as I said, where people are going to stop the scroll, right? So it's just so key. So that's the second P of having a positive real estate experience, is that presentation. And I'm so thankful for all of my team who I have got great resources, as I mentioned before, that we can come and we can do a small job or a big job. You name it, we can do it. So that's it. Last week was pricing. This week is presentation. And next week is going to be all about promotion and different avenues and different things that we do a little bit different. Particularly in our videos, we do lifestyle videos and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. I am actually going to be on travel this week. I am going to go see my sister Becky's son, who they just had their 3rd little baby, and they had 2 boys, and now they have a little girl. And so it's just so special, and I'm looking forward to being kind of a fill-in, if I can at all, for my sister Becky, and go spend some time with the new parents, and go spend some time with the boys and little Lily. So anyways, I hope everyone has a great week, and then you're enjoying September. We'll see you next Saturday for another Postscript Saturday. Okay? All right. Take care, everyone.